More now on Fritz Henderson's sudden departure as General Motors CEO. The board concluded he hadn't done enough to fix the company, but can a new CEO do any better? We're asking Dennis Virag, president of Automotive Consulting Group. He tracks the industry and management trends to help auto and auto parts manufacturers develop business plans. Dennis, right move or wrong move getting rid of Fritz?
Well, I think it's the right move, but I think the timing is poor. GM has been gaining traction somewhat within the market, and I think the disruption now in the management ranks really sets them back quite a bit in their reorganization efforts.
Why is that? What's wrong with, say, having an Ed Whitacre running the company? He had so much success at Southwestern Bell and AT&T.
Well, that's a different industry, and I know a lot of people say, well, if you work in one industry and you're successful, you could transition into another. You know, Alan Mulally being a perfect example. But from what I've seen of Ed Whitacre, I question if he's the man for the job. For example, you take the advertisement where he's on TV touting General Motors. That does not sell vehicles. In fact, I don't think any CEO going into a TV ad touting the company really is a good market strategy. So from what I understand, we've had egos, large egos on both sides, and it ended with the resignation or the firing of Fritz Henderson.
Dennis, some people say that Ed Whitacre might want the CEO job for himself. He seems to have the board's confidence. What would that do to GM?
Well, again, I don't know the man. I don't know his management capabilities, but I really question if he is the right person for the job. I think they need someone who is, number one, who has been through a lot of turmoil and come out successfully within the organization. I really think they need a change agent within General Motors. General Motors has the culture and philosophy that they are the best, that other companies, other auto companies are chasing them.
Even now, you think they think they're the best, Dennis?
I think so. I think within the organization, a lot of the executives, a lot of the managers think that they have the best processes within the industry. I know. I've spoken to them, and it's just not the case. General Motors is slow to change. They've been very slow in recognizing that they are losing the competitive battles, and they need somebody in there who is going to take no prisoners, who is going to tell them that change is imminent.
Who's the best person to do that?
Who is this person who's going to do all these things?
Well, it's hard to say, but and again, I don't have anyone that I can point to.
Or an example of somebody?
Well, someone like an Alan Mulally, obviously, you know, he has done it within Ford. You know, he came from outside the industry, but I've had conversations with Alan, and there is a lot of similarity between Boeing and aerospace and the auto industry. I did not recognize that. He pointed it out to me. So when you look at, you know, who is potentially viable, you know, you may want to look at someone like a John Deere or a Caterpillar, someone where they make...
Dennis, what about a Bob Lutz?
Well, I think you really need an operational person rather than a product and marketing person. And you need someone who's going to provide longevity within the organization. You don't want somebody who's just going to be there for short tenure. With Bob, you know, he's a great product guy, but I just don't think he's the right person for the job.
All right, Dennis, I'm afraid we've got to end it there. Thanks for your perspective. Dennis Virag joining us to talk about the situation at GM and who might succeed Fritz Henderson as CEO.